Users and permissions. Users are important for you because, yeah, users are the people around you. So they are visiting your website, they are giving feedback in comments. In my case, they are translating my books into other languages. So users are very, very, very important. And you have to decide whether your website deals with different users or is simply a kind of a catalog or like a flyer. So, for example, the standard website, the default website here in the example data from Joomla has a possibility to create a user and to log in. And yeah, well, maybe the easiest way is to do that. So I will create an account and I say that's me. I'm Hagen and my username is Hagen Graf and the password is yeah. And this is the email and no, I need another email because usually this email I choose for the admin. So I hope this will work. Will it work? Yes, it will work. So this is I'm now the visitor and I asked to get a user account, and then Joomla says to me your account has been created and an activation link has been sent to the email address I entered, and I have to click on that link. So I installed the Joomla here locally, so I will not receive an email, but I'm also the super administrator, so it's quite easy to see what happened. And I can go here in the administration interface in the user manager, and I see that there is someone called Hagen Graf, and he has just created a user. So I say, well, no problem. I will enable him and I will activate him. Okay, this means that Hagen can log in. And maybe another important thing is at the moment I am logged in as as a super administrator here in the administration interface, and in the website I'm not logged in. So I can now log in as Hagen here as this new user. Hopefully that works. Let's see. Yes, I'm now logged in. And here is my user menu, the little one here. And here is my profile. So I can have a look what is stored about me, and here's my name and my username, registered data, last visited data, and here is something I don't really understand. And when I go to edit the profile, I see here a form where I can edit my data, and here's something where I can choose my editor or the time zone I live in, or the language the front end is. And yeah, here it starts with configuration. So if you are the administrator and you don't want to offer these possibilities, for example, you can go into or in the user manager here on the icon options. And then there are a few parameters for this component. The first of all is whether you want to allow the registration or not. Then things like what is the new user registration group? So if you register, in which group are you? What is the guest group? And yeah, how does it work with the activation? And this is a new thing here in Joomla 2.5. It's a notification mail to administrators. So if someone is creating a user, that the administrator gets an email. This is also new. It's possible to use a captcha in the Joomla core. There is this reCAPTCHA system from Google, and here is what I wanted to show you. So front-end user parameters, I say height, go to save and close, go back to my profile here and reload, and they are gone. So this is the way you can configure things here. And when I want to allow Hagen to create articles, for example, I have to change the role or the group where he's the group which is related to the user. So at the moment, Hagen is a registered user, and when I edit this, I can say no, he's not anymore registered. He's an author, and when he is an author, he is allowed to write articles and web links in the default data. So let's have a look whether this is working. And when I reload this here, it is not working. Yeah, haha. The problem is you have to log out and log in. Yeah, this is a bit complicated because the information is stored in the cookie in your browser. So I log out and log in again. That's the wrong password. That's the right password. And now it should work. Yeah. So now it is possible for me to submit an article, and I will do that. And I say this is my wonderful article. And here I can write something, nothing special. And yeah, here are a few things I can do. And then I publish this article, I save it, and I'm now Hagen. Oops, what's now? Another article has the same alias. Okay. So there is already an article with the name my article. So I will be creative and say, wow, it's my second article, and this will work, I'm sure. Yeah, so it worked. My article is successfully submitted, but it's not there because I'm only an author and someone has to publish my article. And here in Joomla there is a messaging system, this one here, and there's a new message from the system. And if you are a system admin, you will get an email that Hagen has contributed a new article, and when I go in this message, I see a new article has been submitted by Hagen. So when I'm the admin, I have to go into Content Article Manager and look for the article of Hagen. So the problem is now to find it. But for example, I could say, hey, give me all articles from Hagen, and then it's quite easy. So I can click on this red icon here, and then it is published, and then I can say, well, I want to feature that article. And when I go back to my website here, yeah, there is the second article from Hagen. So this is the way how you can work with users. So that's the easy way, let's say. And then you can make it more and more and more and more complicated because you have users. You have this user manager here, and you have user groups. And these standard groups here are the same groups than in Joomla 1.5, but it is possible to add groups. So I can say I want to have a new group, and this group is, I don't know, people from V2. This is where I live. Oops. And I say, okay, this is below the registered. And then I see, yeah, here are people from V2, for example. And then I have viewing access levels. And then I could say, I want to have a new access level. Let's say people from France. And people from France, just a moment, are people from V2. And I save this. And for example, now I could say, when I go into the article manager, that the wonderful article from Hagen, which Hagen just had submitted, is only possible to read by people from France, for example. So this is the way how you can limit access to users. And it is just just a bit complicated. So you can configure all these rights here in the access levels in the user groups. You can here in the options, you have this permission tab, and then you see you have all these permissions behind every group. So this is something which is, how can I say this? It is possible to do everything, but it is very easy possible to commit suicide. So please try this. And this is just, how can I say it? Just a kind of wake-up call that it is possible. but be very careful with these permissions. Okay, so I think for beginners this is enough about users and permissions. Maybe a last thing, since 2.5 it is possible to write user nodes. So for example, you could write this user, I don't know, is known for this and this and this, and you have user node categories, so it's getting bigger and bigger here about the users, and that is a good sign in Joomla 2.5.